Hi, my name's Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. Today I'm going to do another little card back with our celebration stuff because we are quickly running out of time. So everything in this catalog you can get free, but only till the end of February. So that's not very many days left, which, you know, sad that not very many days left that you can get it, but you know, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, happy that winter is quickly leaving us and spring is getting closer and closer. So the bundle that I'm going to work on today is this one here, and it's free with a $100 purchase. So with it, you get this fun little stamp set and then all of this fabulous paper. The paper's wonderful. Stamp set, super cute. It's a really, really fun little bundle. But I am also having a little mini class with it because, to be honest, I have several of these stamp sets. I don't have a ton of the paper left because I used it for my Try It class earlier this year. And I did a 12 by 12 design card, which took inordinate amounts of paper. In fact, I don't have hardly any of one of the sheets left, but I have some paper left, but I have lots of stamp sets. Well, lots. And you know, it's all relative, right? It's not like I have an unending supply, and several people have already signed up for the class. So I have this fun little mini class that's coming up. You can sign up for it right now. As soon as the stamp sets are gone, then the class is over and filled up because I don't have any more stamp sets. But included in the class, it's only $35. That includes the stamp set, your postage, the supplies to make 3 cards, the videos, the how-to videos, and then you will get a selection of some of the paper. Now the sheet that I'm out of, you won't get it, but you'll get a 4x6, and I'm going to show you the paper in case you love it so much that you want it to be your $100 selection, and in that case then you can just get the videos, and the videos are inexpensive too. So here's the fun paper, and then I also have the chicken class coming up, and I'm going to use this on a chicken card that I'm going to film right after this one, because does that not look like it should be on a chicken card? So here's the really fun paper. Here's the one we're using today. It's flipped over. So it's really fun berry designs. I can see lots of summertime cards, lots of, if you go to like a bridal shower or a picnic and you do invitations, or you're making recipes, or you know, you want to make somebody a pie and take it to them, recipe books, all kinds of really fun things. It's just a really bright and cheery designer series pack of paper. It also coordinates with the strawberry punch and the strawberry set, both of them do, that are in the catalog. So you get all the paper, you get the stamp set, then you get the supplies to make the 3 cards, the videos, and you'll need some stamp pad colors, which are in the class description. You don't need any die cutting machines. So if you're new to taking online classes and you just want to try it out, this is one of my most inexpensive classes ever, because normally I have to pay for the stamp sets to send to you as well. So since I got these for free, I'm passing the savings along to you. And I'm going to do this card now just so you can kind of see. This isn't a card that's in the class. It's just another one so you can kind of see it. Sometimes I do cards that are called what was laying on my desk. I cleaned my desk, so there's nothing laying on it. I do have a little, one of my little things where I put all of my scraps, but otherwise my desk is clean. So this card is actually inspired by this fun little card that my friend Tanya gave me. So I've designed it using her little layout. Isn't that cute? This is from the Succulents, and that is also in the current mini catalog. So if you love that, and then this paper is from the Floral Art Suite. So you could get those 2 things and then get the berry stuff for free. So I'm going to use some Just Jade cardstock. And then those are the 2 patterns of paper that I'm going to use. I have my cutting machine here and I didn't really need it. So I'm going to fold this in half. This is Just Jade, and I've cut it long ways because to get that the cut, you have to cut it that way. So just fold this in half, and then I'm going to take my paper trimmer, which is another thing. If you don't have this, it'd be a perfect time to get it. I'm always thinking of things that the rest of the year aren't super excited to buy. I'm actually going to put this in here now that I've got that fold. I should have done it with my scoring blade since I've got this here. That are good things to buy during celebration because they're more tools, you know, refills, extra cardstock, things that when we buy normally, they're like, I had to buy that. But when you buy them during celebration, then you still get the stamp sets or some fun paper for free. So I've folded this in half, and then you want to put it in here and line it the corner down here to the fold up here. I have tons of room, but this is why I very rarely use this, because even with tons of room, by the time I put my stuff here, and then you're just going to cut it. So then it gives you that fun little fold. And there's a ton of different things you can do with this fold, but this one's a super easy one, because sometimes you can put this piece back on there, and we are going to use that piece. It's not going to be scrapped. I'm just going to take my bone folder, because sometimes when there's not a standard fold, it doesn't stay closed quite as well. And just put that down there. This is a super quick card. And then I'm going to take, because this class doesn't use any die cuts, I might use some punches. So this is our 2-inch circle punch. Just punch that out. And then I have some white cardstock. And these are just literal scraps. This is the scrap. Sometimes I keep the long ones when I'm prepping for classes, because I end up with so many of them. And then I've got Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, and Pacific Point for my blues. So I'm going to do my blueberries. I'm going to take the lighter, or the brighter two, I guess, the Balmy Blue and the Pacific Point. And I'm just going to kind of fill this area up. Not all the way. Helps if I do my stamp pad the right way. So I'm going to put Balmy Blue on here because it's the lighter, and then just kind of like daub parts of it so it gets little highlights of it. And every time I use it, I'm just going to stamp twice. This would also, if you're not interested in making blueberries, but you need some polka dots or like some just backgrounds, it would make some fabulous backgrounds. And let's go this way. I'm trying to get them so they look like they're kind of sitting on top of each other. And it's not going to be perfect, but you know, it's a graphic design. It's not meant to look realistic. And this time a little bit more blue maybe, because these are going to be on top. So we have that. And then I'm going to go to my Misty Moonlight. And this is a 2-step stamp. So I've done the insides of my berries, and then there's a stamp that has the outside of the berries. So I'm going to try the best I can to get some that match up to the lines. Not all, it's going to, because the way you stamp them, just pick some. There's a full strength one, and then pick a not full strength one. And they might not match up perfectly, but it's all going to hit some blue. And that second one, it doesn't matter as much. So now this berry right here looks like it's more on top, so I'm going to go for that one. And then these up here. Try to figure out how you stamped them. It's a little puzzle. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Those are medium-sized ones, and I got 2 of them together. Let's do this. That got one. And then that one's good. So now we've got most of them. And then I wanted my little stems, because it has the tiny little stems, which is probably hard to see. See the little stems there? And I got some more ink on me. I wanted those to kind of be filled in on these top ones, so I just took my Wink of Stella, because it'll smear that blue ink. And just kind of the ones that are on the top, I just kind of filled those back in. And you don't have to do this. And then if you have any white space on this one, I didn't really. On my first one I did, partly because I didn't know what my card was going to look like. And then on this little scrap here, I have my Just Jade. And I took the saying that says, wishing you the very best. And I have blue ink all over my hands now. I'm put it right about here. And I didn't stamp it very well, so there's 2 sides to that piece of paper. I was trying not to get blue ink on it. So I was trying not to touch it with my inky hands, and then I didn't stamp well. But that's why we have 2 sides to the paper. So we've got that. Now I have our really fun mason jar punch. This has its whole own suite of products. But for this, I'm just going to punch a piece of vellum. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to punch this. So for this, you kind of want to decide, like, I really want this on the top because I don't want it to have this empty spot. So to get it to reach in here, I'm going to have to trim this off. This was scrap anyways. And I'll stick it in this direction. And now most of my berries are on the bottom of my jar as opposed to on the top. You could also do this with window sheet if you don't have any vellum. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of Stampin' Seal, put it right there in the middle. It's clear and there's enough berries going on in this card that you're not going to see the Stampin' Seal. So there's our jar full of blueberries. I'm going to take this, and because we're just, this stamp set especially, I think lends itself to the country homemade feel. So I'm just using scissors. It's going real easy. So if you don't have very many stamping supplies and you've never taken an online class, don't feel like you have to have everything, because I know lots of you don't. We all start somewhere. So now let's just stick all this together. So take, and on this one, these are 2 sizes that you would get in your pack, and I have just trimmed them down a little bit. This one I've actually trimmed down a little bit more than the one I had on my first card, because I wanted to see a little bit more of this paper. So this one's going to be a little bit smaller, and then we'll see which one we like the best. It just looks like it's picnic time, doesn't it? So just mount this one in here. And then just mount this one over the top. I like this better because the other one you don't get to see nearly as much of that pattern, but when you open it up, then you get to see this one again, which is kind of fun. It's one of those, and I shouldn't have done that. I was talking, you always put the adhesive on this part here. How much do I have where it's going to touch? Just go a little higher. I have my adhesive eraser. So hang on. This is barely there. There you go. Just rub that right off. So let's take this and stick this here. Who does that? They flip a piece of paper over even though it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to take this and put that there. See, it doesn't even matter that I didn't use any kind of a trimmer for that. And all that blue ink on my finger, at least it's not transferring to my white paper. This is a little bit of a hot mess. And then I have just a couple of little embellishments for my jar. This is the trim, just the white trim. It's nice and bright from the Snail Mail suite. And it also comes with pink, which works really well with the berries. So I'm just gonna fold it in half and then just right around the lip of the jar, like if you were canning or giving somebody some berries or just had some in your kitchen. Just tying a knot, nothing fancy. Just a regular knot. And I've doubled it over just because one kind of loses it. I don't think there's quite enough to be seen. And two just gives it that little bit more of a punch. And I'll just trim the ends so they're a little bit even, and you don't want them too long because you don't want them to overpower your jar. And then I'm going to take a dimensional. I actually have the edge of my dimensionals because that sheet's running out. Yeah, I have ink on this hand too. I don't know where I'm getting all this from. Just kind of center this on here. And then one last little touch are the hearts, the mini resin hearts from the same Snail Mail suite. And you can tell that I've really enjoyed these white ones. Although the red ones would be cute with the raspberries or the strawberries. I'm just gonna stick one right here on that darkest berry. How sweet is that? Isn't that cute? And then when you write, here's what you do. You can punch another circle or another mason jar and you put it right here. So pretend that I had another one. And then you can write your greeting right here. So it doesn't show up, but because you've put all that pattern paper there, then it's really easy to see. Here's my other one where the paper's a little bit bigger. And see, when I was done, I was like, I kind of covered up all of my berries. I like this better when I cut that just a tad shorter. So it's just a little bit of a change. If you've done it at home and you've used seal, then you still have time to kind of lift that all up. And I also thought it would be cuter to kind of pull that over. Two different looks. Neither one of them is awful. So if you're interested in the class, I do have a few spots left, not a ton. I expect that they will be gone by the end of the month. So I'll put the little class link down under this video and you can go sign up. It should be ready to go out probably around March 10th to 15th, in that range, by the time I get all the supplies in and the packets all made up and ready to mail out. So everybody have a great weekend, and happy last week of February. If you have any questions about Sale-a-bration, I will have a couple more videos, and I'm going to go back through and show you all of the cards that I've made to kind of highlight all of the Sale-a-bration items before the month's over. Have a great one. Bye.